Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to be doing a flip through today of Apologia's Exploring Creation with Earth Science. This is the science that I'm going to be doing with my upcoming fourth grader. So this is our fourth grade science for next year. This is a flip through, not a review, because we have never used this curriculum before. We've used some Apologia, I believe, but we've never used this specific course. So this is brand new to me. I'm going to flip the camera around in a second so you can get a bird's eye view of what this curriculum is. It's got two books. We've got the hardback and then a softcover book, but I'll show you all that detail here in just a second. If you are new to my channel, just real quick, want to give you an update and a little information about who I am. We are a family of 5. I am married. We have 3 kids, ages 1.5, 8, and 13. We homeschool, the 2 older ones. So I have curriculum reviews for our upcoming 4th grader and 9th grader. If you want, I'll have this in the playlist so you can go back and look at all those. I have done reviews of our past several years. We are consecutively on our 5th year of homeschooling. We did a little homeschool with my oldest. They went to traditional school and then we came back to homeschooling. So we've homeschooled for several years. I feel like every year I get a little bit more familiar with it and a little bit more comfortable sharing things with y'all. My channel is very new. If you are new and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified when my videos come up. Another thing I wanted to let y'all in on, if you have been following me and you're wondering where I'm at, it's been like a week or so since I've posted, and I had every intention of posting twice a week. I had my calendar set up of what videos I was going to be recording and uploading, and I had a plan of twice a week, and I've done good to get one a week. We just had a lot going on. We had a death in the family. I work with family, so not only did I have to go out of town, we had to go to Tennessee, and I'm in North Carolina. We had to go to Tennessee and back, and then because I work with family that had to be out of town for that for a funeral, I had to cover for other people at work, so I ended up working more than I was planning on working for some days that I was planning on doing some video recording, so that didn't work out. And then I've had some things going on with my health. I decided to buckle down and actually go to the doctor and get some visits done that I had been postponing forever. And I may do a video to kind of explain some of that, because I think it's probably something that a lot of moms go through and you think it's normal, and maybe it's not. So I've been dealing with things like, being super tired. My hair has fallen out like crazy. Like, I normally wear my hair curly. If you're seeing me not for the first time and you think I look different, my hair fell out like crazy, and it always does after I have my babies. But this was an insane amount of hair loss. So I knew it wasn't right, and it wasn't coming back like it was supposed to. So I finally am going to the doctor to get that kind of thing. And like, I was tired all the time. So when I did have time to do videos, it was like, should I take a nap or record a video? And sometimes I was just so tired. I knew y'all didn't want to see my face looking as tired and zombie fat as I was. So I've opted for the naps when I could have been doing videos. So I've just had to kind of prioritize, and I've buckled down. I'd made some doctor's appointments and going through some different tests that they've done. I did find out that I'm very much vitamin D deficient. So I've ordered some vitamins for that. If you have any experience with being vitamin D deficient, how about let me know in the comments if you got any pointers for me. But I did find out that with all these tests, and I'm going through just different things, and I may do a video on that later, but right now I know you're here for the curriculum, so I'm going to get back to that. Just wanted to let you know what kind of has been going on with me and my family and why I've been a little bit lacking on my video uploading. But some upcoming videos to look for. I am going to be doing some more curriculum. I've got our Bible. Our curriculum has been coming in pretty slow. We ordered some here and there, and then I remembered more that I needed to get. So we've got Bible curriculum already here for 9th grade and 4th grade that I will show y'all in another video. And then I've got my 9th graders biology I'm going to show you. And I think there was one more. I'm still waiting on language for my 4th grader to get here. And I can't remember if there's anything else. If there's something I'm missing and it's not in the playlist, I'll go back and check that, and we'll try to get another video on that. But 4th grade and 9th grade is what I'm doing the videos on now for our upcoming curriculum. And then my daughter, my 13-year-old, placed a Temu order. If you didn't see that, I did place an order myself, and I unboxed that in front of y'all, let y'all see it as it was coming out of the packaging to see what our reaction was and what the products looked like. I'm not sponsored or affiliated in any way with Temu. It was just my own personal placing an order because I was curious. Well, my daughter, who's 13, I let her place an order, She had like a coupon thing and all, all that. I'll let you know in the video, but we're going to do that kind of unboxing or unbagging or whatever it is when it gets here and show you what my 13-year-old ordered. And it was a pretty good amount. She got like 10 items. I think she paid like $20, but it was about 10 items that she got, most of them for free. So anyway, that's coming up. I can't think what else. There's a few other things, but curriculum and that Temu order I know are coming up, and I think I got some Amazon things that I'm going to show you, so that's coming up. So let me get back to the video. We're going to go over this curriculum. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can get a bird's eye view, and you'll see it in just a second. Okay, so here are the two books that I have. I have the textbook and I have the notebooking journal. The notebooking journal says that it is optional, but honestly, I don't think I would want to do this without this. And I'll show you that in a second. So the way I normally do my flip throughs is I show y'all what it would look like starting with my first day and how we would go through the books and do the lesson. So I usually just jump into the curriculum, and I love when they have already done a preset schedule. Obviously we don't follow everything completely to a T that these books put in their schedules, because everybody is different, and it's, it's meant to be flexible for your family and for your situation, and we always change it, but I like to have something to start off with. All right, so in the notebooking journal, this talks about the curriculum a bit with Apologia. We've got the table of contents. I'm going to move this up here so y'all can see this a little bit better. Schedule, parent guide, and this has got 14 lessons. This one is Earth Science, so we've got things like the observable universe, spheres of the Earth, making and shaping the land, the hydrosphere, climate and weather, biosphere, cycles of life. And then we've got something in the back that I'll show you called My Special Spot, and then you've got the answer key, the solutions, and then the extra stuff in the back, photo credits. All right, before you begin, this starts the weekly schedule, but there's also something that you should do before you start this. And from what I can tell, I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting when I ordered, or when I picked this up, but looking at it even closer, I don't see any tests. There's a lot of experiments, a lot of hands-on stuff, which my daughter loves, so she's going to love that. But it looks like a lot of learning through hands-on stuff and not through a lot of tests, which is going to be really good for her. And I always say this with any curriculum, we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work for us, we will start over with something else. We haven't done that a lot, but we have done that before. Both of these are in color, by the way. This is the soft cover and this is a hard cover. So it's got the weekly schedule. There are, like in the table of contents, I showed you, there's 14 lessons. And this is meant to be almost like a half credit kind of thing, or a half semester, or a half of a year, one semester. So this gives a schedule to do this 2 days a week. It says it says it right there, 2 days a week suggested schedule. So this is basing off if you do this 2 days a week, or you could, ignore the weeks or whatever and just do each lesson and do them every day and get it done in half of a year. This is broken down to be 28 weeks. So 14 lessons, doing it twice a week, that gives you 28 weeks. So it ends on week 28 and breaks it down to 2. So you can do that however you want. My girls are very much student-led with their curriculum, so she'll be able to follow this herself and she'll know where she's supposed to turn to. But like I say, you can do that however you want to. You could do a bunch in one day. You could do it once a week and drag it out. You could do it 3 times a week. But it is there and it's listed, so you can kind of just check off the boxes as you do it. So let me just open this up and show you I'll show you the before you begin stuff, and then we'll open it up to the week 1 and show you what those lessons look like. In here, it shows you NJ for notebooking journal. So anywhere where it says NJ, that means that you're supposed to open up to the pages in this book. And it tells you right here, textbook, page 14 through 18. So you know, or your student knows that they're supposed to go to their textbook, which is this book. And they're supposed to go and read pages 14 through 18 and do activities 1.1 and 1.2. And then they're supposed to go in this book to pages 26 through 29. Pretty self-explanatory there, but let me show you what it looks like. On the before you begin, it says textbook instructions 10 through 11. So let's look at the textbook and go to pages 10 through 11. I'm going to skip the beginning stuff real quick. If there's anything I want to go back and show you, we'll go back to that. So page 10 and 11, here's the introductions on page 10 and 11, and it kind of gives some ideas of what they're going to be doing. So that was 10 and 11, and then it says in here to go to notebooking journal. parent guide, and we're going to go over there and look. That's after the suggested schedule. And it says, please review my special spot pages. So we'll go back there and look at that. This is me looking at this brand new with you guys too. I've kind of skimmed through it, but I'm looking at it, some of this for the first time as well. So parent guide, this is for you to go over with your student, or to go over and then explain some things to your student of what to expect, of, you know, how you should do this curriculum and what they're going to be doing with each lesson and each week. Oh, let's go back to that my special spot. I'm going to put tabs on this so that she's easily able to go from one section to another. All right, so my special spot. This is what it looks like. I honestly don't know anything about what this is about, but it looks like that they're going to be doing this throughout the year, of mapping out something. It says use your mapping skills to show your special spot. My special spot in the fall. Date, weather, questions to explore, what I noticed. My special spot in the winter. In the spring. In the summer. And I'm sure, okay, here we go. How to use my special spot pages. Here's what to do. At least 20 by 20 foot section is recommended, but keep the size manageable. If it's too big, details get lost. Take a photograph to document your special spot. On your maps, draw an aerial view of everything you see on the ground. You can make it simple or fancy. Use shapes for things. Note colors. All right, so this is picking a spot like in your yard or something and going back to it with each season and making note of all the different things. It says 4 times a year you will go out there and explore. You might be surprised to learn how your special spot goes through some pretty interesting changes. That's pretty neat. We've got a spot or a place in our yard where the girls like to play, so I think that's going to be something neat for her to see how it changes throughout the seasons. Okay, that's pretty neat. All right, I'm going to go back to my week 1 in the lesson. So week 1, lesson 1, the observable universe, textbook pages 14 through 18. And like I said, there are a lot of experiments with this. So in the first week, if you'll see this, activities 1.1 and 1.2 in the textbook, this is on one day. So if you break this up and say you're going to do science on Mondays and Wednesdays, on Monday, the first day, you're already expected to do 2 activities. So definitely plan ahead with this. Make sure that you look ahead and see what materials you're going to need. And then because you also have another one on the second day for that week. There's activities with every day, I do believe. So make sure you look ahead. Know that you have your materials ready beforehand. All right, let me go here and look. Textbook pages 14 through 18. So they go to their textbook and they open up to page 14. If there's anything that I'm missing, I'm skipping over that you want to know about, let me know in the comments and I will make sure I go back and cover that for you. All right, so they would read here 14 through 18. Observable universe. It says lesson 1 up on the top, and then you get to your first activity. This one's got, says putty. Looks like you're kind of making slime. Bottle of clear craft glue, 2 small mixing bowls, borax powder, water spoon, blue and red food coloring, silver sparkles, the more the better. Oh no. 2 marbles or other small objects, small zipper style plastic bag. And then it gives instructions for what to do. So yeah, and then here's a second one, and what you need is yourself and several different rooms of your home. So you don't need a lot of materials for that, but you do need the time to do that with your student, if it's something that they can't do by themselves. So that was page 17. Go to 18. It wants you to stop here because this is talking about the experiment that you just did. All right, so that was pages 14 through 18 with the activities. Notebook journal, page 26 through 29. So let's go look at page 26 through 29. I'll show you that stuff in just a second. All right, so in the notebooking journal, this is on activity 1.1 with the putty, and it has questions that you're supposed to do here, pictures, I think. Says we will always see the lights. We will always see the lights we can see in tonight's sky. Light travels faster than the expansion. What might we never see in an expanding universe? I'm not exactly sure why it says attach number 1 here. I think you're just supposed to write. I'm not really sure. The answers for this book are in the back. The solution page is, I think, behind the special spot page. Yep, there's the solutions. So if they check their own work, here's the answers to activity 1.1. Those are the 1, 2, and 3 answers for 1, 2, and 3 right there. And then there's more things to do here. This isn't like answering questions or anything. This is just another little activity for them to do, because they're supposed to pull out this page and cut these things out. Oh, duh. This, I think, goes here. I think you're supposed to answer these questions. Plus, you're supposed to fold that and glue right there. So it would be like making their own little lift-a-flap book. They would put the right picture for the right circle and write their answer in there. Ha! It does good to read the instructions. All right, and then lesson 1.2, understanding frame of reference. So that goes along with the second activity that they did on that day, the understanding frame of reference. So there's that. This is where they write their answers for what they learned here. And all right, and that was it through, was that supposed to be through 29? Let me go back and look what they were supposed to do in notebooking journal for that day. Yep, through 29. So that's where they stopped for that day. Day 1, week 1, done. We'll go to one more and show you, and then I'll just show you some random things in here. So we're still on lesson 1. This would be the second day for week 1. Textbook pages 18 through 20. So they would take their textbook and they would go to page 18, which was where we stopped. So they would start right here, our place in space, and they would go through to page 20, and they would stop at the end of that page and read all that. Within this, and it tells you right here, you had activity 1.3, and this is activity 1.3. Create a Galaxy Mobile. You need 3 black wire hangers, metallic chenille sticks, thread, and tape. Not too difficult. I think we have that kind of stuff in here. Hopefully, oops, sorry, I didn't have you in the middle there. So the hangers, I call them pipe cleaners. They called them metallic chenille sticks. I call them pipe cleaners. Tape and thread. So it's making it a mobile for that activity. That would take my daughter a little bit, so you need to plan ahead. I think this is probably actually going to turn into maybe more than one day with some of these activities, because I think it might take, I don't know, I may have to split it up. We'll work on this, because some of this stuff's going to take a while for her. So along with that, this went to page 20. I showed you that, we read through that page for that, and then you go to notebook journal 30, and then 35 through 70. So let's show you those. So page 30, that is talking about what they did. Attach a picture of your Galaxy Mobile. 30, 35 through 37. I'm not sure why we're skipping. Some of these pages. I'll figure that out. Remove this page from your notebook. It's a lot of activity stuff. My thoughts is reviewing what we... Alright, so you're supposed to be cutting things out and putting them here. So lots and lots of activities. If you are big on doing some hands-on stuff, if your kid is big enough to be doing these hands-on things, I think they're going to like this. Once we get into this a little bit and I figure out how it's working for us, if we love it, if we hate it, whatever, I will go back and do a review and let you know how it's working. So enough of going lesson by lesson, page by page. I'm just going to show you some of this stuff. This, I showed you where it goes through week 28, and you can kind of just make that your own. This is a little bookmark at the beginning for them to cut out, and it gives detailed instructions here of what to do. You kind of have like a little mini book that this all goes together. You cut it out and fold it, and it tells you to keep this little mini book together and use it as a bookmark in this book to keep your place and to use it to write down some of your thoughts as you're going through this. Now I'm just going to flip through this and show you some of this. This was the before you begin stuff that they're supposed to fill out. There was no instruction for this page. This just looks like a fun page for them to color. So if you are going to be trying to use this curriculum again, this is a book that you would have to buy again. This hardback book is not written in, so you wouldn't necessarily have to buy this again for a second student to use. You would only need to replace the consumable. So this is kind of what this looks like. I'm just going to flip through to some random things. Lots and lots of hands-on. Remove this page from your notebook, cut along the dotted lines. Use glue to attach each earth in its proper orbital position on page 48. Make sure you have the correct tilt of the Earth for each season. So you would cut those out and glue them here. Yeah, my daughter's going to love this. Equator locator. This is where you're going to write down some information about an activity you do in the student text. Yep, that's what a lot of this is. And the answers to this, oh, there's a crossword. She's going to love that. My daughter's going to be 9 years old doing this, in case you need some reference for how old. She's 9 years old, going to be in 4th grade. And I do believe she is going to love this. She loves in her current science curriculum when there's activities, and there's not a ton. But now in this one, she is going to have a lot. I'm going to go back to the solutions. Here's the solutions in the back of the book to things like the crossword puzzle. Not so much to the experiments, because the experiments are not really a right or wrong answer on some of those. It's more of your opinion. But where there are questions and answers, you do have the answers in the back of this book. Another thing I did notice in the textbook, let me go and look at that. There are questions in the textbook. Let me find the one for lesson 1. It's not laid out like you would normally see it, and I have not seen any test. I don't think I'm missing a book. If I am, I'll go back and correct myself. But I don't see tests. I only see a few questions here and there at the end of each lesson. And then the stuff that's in the journal. So I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to grade that. I'm sure it's in the teacher guide section, and I'll go back and look at that later. But here is the questions for lesson 1. It's not even numbered or anything. It just says, what do you remember? Why do we talk about the observable universe instead of just saying the universe? What is the name of the galaxy that we live in? So there's 2 questions. Can you name the 3 types of galaxies we discussed? There's 3 questions. Do you know of any other planet that has life? 4 questions. What was your favorite part of this lesson? So there's 5 questions there. And I'm going to go back and look at the answer key here for lesson 1 and see what it says. A lot of times it'll say, answers may vary. I'm going to just show y'all. Like I say, I'm looking at this brand new with y'all. I'm not sure how this goes. So lesson 1, we have the answer to 5 questions. Why do we talk about the observable universe instead of just saying the universe? And they have the answer of the universe is so big that even with the best technology available, we can only observe so much of it. And this is a Christian curriculum. I'm sorry, I forget to say that because that's what we do. And I know some of y'all don't do Christian curriculum. You want all secular, but this is a Bible-based Christian curriculum. So here's the answers to those questions. I'm going to have my daughter, because unless I missed it, let me go back and look. I'm going to have my daughter have a separate notebook, but I wouldn't think that she would need it. So because of that notebooking journal. So let me look. This is on page 24 of the textbook. Let me look in the weekly section to see if that is going to have her write the answers in this book. So on page 24, that is week 2, lesson 1. Let me see if it has somewhere in this book for her to write those answers. Okay, so notebooking journal 31 to 33. Let's find that. Here's 31 through 33. That is nowhere for her to write answers. And then we had 38, 39, and 42. Let's find 38, 39, and 42. This is vocabulary. 38, 39, and 42. Okay, so no need for the separate notebook. On page 42, it has those same questions in the what do you remember, and they have them answer it here. So this may be what I use kind of as a test or like an end of lesson grade to get me an average. I don't do so much grading with my elementary grades, elementary, middle school, high school. We have to keep grades, but this will be kind of a reference for me to let her know that if she's doing good or not, if she's remembering what she's learning. So there's that. I don't think you're going to need a separate notebook. And I didn't see instructions for these pages, so this is going to be extra coloring for her to do that she's going to love. And it looks like before each lesson you have a coloring page. Let's see, was there anything else? That was at the end of lesson 1. That was just 5 quick questions, and then we go into lesson 2. I really like the pictures. Everything is very well illustrated. There are Bible verses scattered throughout this. We use a King James Bible. I don't really like that they use different translations in this, so we may kind of skip over that stuff, or I'll tell her to, read it and then go read it in our Bible, because we want her to see it in the translation that we use. But they do have a lot of Bible verses scattered throughout here explaining, in the creation view, why we believe things that we believe. Okay, I didn't realize that my video had stopped recording. So I'm just gonna, I had flipped through, I went back and looked, and I missed a couple of these flipping through and showing y'all some of the activities. So I was looking at the activities in chapter 9. This is 9.8. This is in the notebooking journal. This is what it looked like in the student textbook. So it tells you what you need, and a lot of the activities are totally different from one to the other. So this one says what you need is adult supervision, the internet, paper, and color pencils. And where it says paper, it says or the notebooking journal. And it gives you in the notebooking journal a place for you to write your information. So everything is really contained into these 2 books. I don't think you're going to need anything other than these 2 books to do this curriculum. I really don't have much else on this. Let me look at the back. There's usually always a section of something that I forget to go over. This is, here we go, supply list. That is important. There are a lot of activities. List for you everything that you will need for lesson 1. And remember, this is laid out to do 2 lessons per week. So this is your first week, second week, third week, if you follow their suggested schedule. So you're going to need, I'm talking to myself here, I am going to need to go through this and make sure that we have all of this for several weeks ahead of time. I'll probably do 4 weeks or 4 lessons at a time to make sure that we have all this together, and I'll find a spot to put our school stuff, and I'll have all that sitting there waiting for her to use because I will be so bad at getting this stuff ready week to week. But it is very much laid out here, shows you what you need. Lesson 5 is a long list here. So I will go ahead of time definitely and look to see what is needed for several lessons so that we have it all ready. Let's see, appendix. This is the answers to the what do you remember at the end of each lesson. This is what I'm going to use for grading. Let's see if there's anything else. Index. I think that's it. Let me look in the back of this one. Again, if I missed anything that you want to see a little bit closer, let me know in the comments. I think we did all this. This was the My Special spot, where they get to pick that spot and show how it changes. The answers to the questions in this book. And then this goes right back to lesson 14. So this would be in your weekly schedule. This would tell you what to be doing along with these pages. It looks pretty cool. I'm thinking my daughter's gonna love it. That's lesson 14's picture to color at the beginning of the lesson. Every lesson looks like it's pretty well laid out from lesson 1 to lesson 14 the same way. This looks like probably lesson 14 might be a lot of review, because it says, I'm amazed at creation. As you explore creation, write down the things you learned from your observations. Stewards of the Earth mini book. So there's a little, I think they're going to be writing down what they learned and making a little mini book. Journal your thoughts on your place in the universe. Yeah, the last one kind of looks like an overview review of what they did, what they thought about it. That is it. I am going to end this video, and I will get back with y'all with some of those upcoming videos that I said we were going to be doing. I'll get those out as soon as I can. Alright, that is it. Thank y'all. Bye.